Hey guys, it's Ato. Thanks for watching my interpretation of the Godzilla vs. King Kong theme song. I'm a pretty big fan of Godzilla. I'm a very big fan of Godzilla. I'm a very, very big fan of Godzilla. And I've been really excited about the new Godzilla movies coming out in the US. I actually went to see the 2014 Godzilla very many times. And Godzilla's always been there when I was a kid. It was this big mascot of mine that followed me everywhere I went, I guess. So it was a no-brainer to make this. And it was a lot of fun to do. Just to put this out there, I'm reading your comments, and you guys would like to see more of the making-of footage. So I'll get that going in later videos, because this was kind of a spontaneous thing. I just had the idea to do this at night, and I just started plowing through, and I was on complete flow mode. But I'd like to show you what happens in the DAW a little bit. So let's do that. Okay, let's move Mr. Mike. So I'll just show you around a little bit. I have a bunch of drums ranging from cinematic drums to orchestral snares to cymbals. There's a double bass track, a lot of cellos, a lot of violins, and a little bit of horns. I use what are called virtual instruments. So virtual instruments in practice are that there's people recording an acoustic instrument, and they record this acoustic instrument one note at a time. And then all those individual notes get cut up separately, and then they get sampled. And then what I can do is I can play these individual samples with a MIDI controller. What's a MIDI controller? It's this thing. So I can just doodle around with the cello here, or the violins, or the horns, or drums. I think the key to make as realistic sounding virtual instruments as possible is to layer lots of the same instrument. Let's take the violins, for example. For instance, in the violins, I have a few tracks here that have the exact same melody, but I've chosen slightly different variations of the violin sound through my library of virtual instruments. And the virtual instrument library that I use is Contax Complete Ultimate 10. It's a great foundation of instruments. You have all kinds of stuff there, ranging from world instruments to orchestral instruments to band instruments. So here's one of my violin plugins. There's a lot of things you can do to the sound. You can change the style of how it's played. You can also adjust the room sound, so the echo that's in the space where the instrument was recorded, and all that kind of stuff. Here's one violin sound. Another one. Another one. And then I put all of that together. Other great ways to make virtual instruments sound more realistic is to look at the notes of your instrument. You can adjust the placement of the notes just a little bit to make everything be a little bit off the grid so they don't sound so tight. Kind of like this. A quick fix for this, though, is just to select a bunch of notes. Sounded cool. So you can select all the notes that you want and randomize their position by a percentage. That's a quantize option. Something else you can do is play around with the velocity for the notes, or just play them dynamically with the keyboard. And a real kicker to make your virtual instrument sound really good is to play with automation. So manually adjusting the volume of the notes. Orchestral music is very dynamic, and you can play around with this a whole lot. Let's take this as an example. Let's play this as it is now. So now, quickly with the mouse, you can do this in other ways, but just as a quick demonstration, we can do that. It faded in a little bit. Let's do it again. Okay, that was extreme, but you get the point. Some instruments are a bit trickier than others. Horns are a bit challenging. My horns don't sound very good. I can't even listen to it. When you have a lot of these virtual instrument tracks, your session's gonna slow down a whole lot. And all these plugins, meaning sound adjustments, the virtual instruments themselves, they eat and gobble down the speed of your computer really bad. So what you can do to get things running faster again is to select all of these virtual instrument tracks and record each track separately into audio tracks. All these tracks that have all these plugins and sounds and adjustments that slow down your computer won't matter to you anymore, because all of the sounds are just going to be audio. No plugins, no MIDI information, nothing, just audio. Makes things a lot quicker. So that's basically it. That was a little dive into what I've done with the sound. So with all that said, I'll see you in the next video. And this big guy is gonna wish you a happy, happy day. What a weird way to end a video. Also, if you like what you see, you can always subscribe to the channel and click on the bell thing to get notified when videos come up. Drop a comment and say hi, that's always fun. Otherwise, bye.